Either way, let's see how he's going to do in this game. Top up against WE. And it's WE 1-0 on the scoreboard right now. Not a sentence I was expecting to say today. But Top with this Nico in the mid lane against Tichama's Diana. We're going to have a very different style of game. And let's see who that favors as we move on to Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, and we might see something like the Lethality Varus coming out this game. When you look at Top's comp not having a lot of frontline options, you're going to be able to burst them down relatively easily. And you do also have scaling in your draft already with that Diana.
I'm excited for the top lane as well. We've mentioned it before, Morgan versus 369. This time Morgan is going to have that Renekton. He was the guy that first picking the Renekton. Yeah. He was the one that started that trend.
WE were doing that since we came off break, and they're 4-0 on the champion. So feeling really good if you're a WE fan once again. And Jomung actually going towards the on-hit Varus, so looking more for the sustained DPS and these kind of more mid-late game team fights.
And I want to revisit something that we talked about earlier on in the split. Every time we looked towards a WE game, we talked about how Morgan would go for these teleport plays around Dragon, around the bottom side of the map, and make a big impact. Renekton was one of the champions that we knew that for. We knew him for that, sorry. Since then, he's had Renekton banned against him or picked against him so many times. He's only got 4 games on the pick. And I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do, whether we see those signature teleport plays coming out once more.
I'm also excited to see this level 1 coming out from Top, really abusing Olaf's strong level 1. We also see their bot lane get a ward on their red buff, so if Beishang does look to maybe split the map, Top Esports will know.
We'll certainly be aware of that one. And
Nico's going to win this lane. Ranged against melee matchup. Nico's kit is also pretty good against champions that want to jump into her, of course, because of her E, and when she hits that level 6 mark, the ultimate, being able to lock targets down and have that shield as well.
Missing living up to his namesake there with the Dazzle. Doesn't quite connect. But Xiaomeng, in the meantime, going to be able to just keep CSing away on those minions. It does mean that they'll have the advantage moving towards level 2. Photic and Chocho are going to have to respect that.
Yeah, and Karsa as well, doing such a great job, actually, of taking the enemy red and Raptors and now getting back to his own jungle. Going to come out with a pretty good jungle lead on top of this Rek'Sai, be able to abuse this tempo and start looking for plays.
Chocho desperately trying to stop this wave crashing, but there's no way he can. It does mean they'll lose a couple of CS there. But Karsa, he moved towards the bottom side of the map, is just going to channel his recall. Oh, sorry, not Karsa, Beishang going to channel his recall. Karsa going to be going to his blue. Could look towards that top side, but the lane is pushed in pretty heavily.
Yeah, Beishang was expecting Karsa to look for an early game gank bot with Xiaomeng and Missing pushing so aggressively. Of course, Karsa didn't do that. He got his own advantage in the jungle. Now Beishang's going to get to the top side and realize, hey, my camps aren't here. And maybe we see him look for a gank on 369, who is so far overextended. But with Karsa there as well, not going to be able to do that freely.
They're going to find each other in the top side of this river. Actually moving towards the top lane here. Beishang just going to grab the Scuttle Crab.
Karsa expects it.
Karsa knows what's going on here. Might just find Beishang. But the tunnel available, and the undertow misses, so Beishang happy to walk away. I love how jungle in the LPL, it's all about mind games. It's all about trying to read your opponent. You can see it with WE trying to set up the counter gank in the bottom lane. You can see it with Karsa trying to catch Beishang out in the top side.
Had Karsa been more patient, he probably would have been able to find that counter gank in top, because, again, with WE's camps down in top side, he really had nowhere else he could look. Had Karsa waited in that brush, feels like Beishang would have headed up there.
Knock up onto Xiaomeng, he's ignited, he might just go down, but he gets the kill first. Gets the heal at the last second, and Xiaomeng walks away. Missing could be in trouble, but he does have a flash. That means he's going to be fine to stick around here. Now the counter gank from Beishang. He's a level down on Karsa, though. Does need to be cautious contesting this one. Neither smite available, but Karsa takes the crab here.
And you never see 2v2 kills in bot lane anymore, right? It's just, you have so many kind of frontline defensive supports. It just, they're just both big meat shields. You hit each other, nothing happens. And we tried so hard to talk up Photic's kind of revitalization lately. But going down in an early 2v2 kill, not a good sign.
And Chocho forced the issue so hard. He got everything off onto Xiaomeng, but he doesn't have the damage by himself. And Missing in the meantime is like, look, I've got some sustain. I'm going to get this stun off onto your AD carry as well. and win out the 2v2.
Yeah, because Chocho engaged, right?
Yeah.
Because we talked about this. Typically, the one engaging into these defensive supports is the one who ends up kind of on the losing end. As Chocho, you're putting yourself in harm's way, giving Missing a free dazzle, and Jomung is already in a good place to get damage onto you to where Photic has to walk forward to look for that return.
And Jomung able to just finish off the kill. Either way, does mean that WE start things off strong. And these two junglers have consistently been matching. Karsa has been coming ahead a little bit, though, when it comes to the jungle. He managed to steal away the Raptors there from Beisheng. He took the bottom crab as well when they were both contesting. So Karsa having a good time on this Olaf, and he is going to be a level ahead of Beisheng. Beisheng's only just hit level 4. Karsa just hit level 5.
Yeah, Karsa doing a good job, and now I want to actually see him use this advantage instead of just continuing to hard farm, maybe wanting to get to that level 6 point and get that Ragnarok. But it feels like with the advantage you have in your matchup in the mid lane, we can see him link up with the Nico and start creating some pressure in the bot lane where, again, you have a lot of aggressive dive potential with something like the Kalista being able to pull out the Rakan and all the CC with the Nico as well.
Beisheng wants a gank in the top lane, but 369 happy to just walk away from that one. Teacherman now going to try and make a play to the bot side, but again, not going for it in the end. Jomung, the target here, is Photic trying to get the damage down, but he's just getting pounded out by Missing. Now for a Moonfall. Teachama's in the vicinity. Oh no, they thought the arrow would get it. Double kill for Teachama.
Once again, top esports bot lane over-aggressing. Doesn't even actually look like Teacherma needed to be there. Looks like W's bot lane would have come out ahead regardless, but Teacherma being there secures 2 more kills for the side of WE. And you have a 2-0-0 Diana. We were talking about how this is a champion that wants to get like 1-2 items under her belt before she comes online. That's going to be in the next 5 minutes now.
Yeah, that's a good way to start that ball rolling right there. And Jomung, I love the way that Jomung and Missing play that 2v2 as well. Jomung's the target, obviously. Just moves into the brush. Also just punished by taking this. He has hit level 6 now. He's 2 levels up on Beisheng.
I mean, it makes sense when he's just been power farming, has done literally nothing on the map, while W's a team consistently trying to get those advantages, but what's going to happen here?
Morgan wants to try and make a play. They're well aware of where Karsa is. And actually Karsa does get stunned out in the end. Beisheng tunnels away in the other side of the fight. Karsa's getting pretty low, and Teachama is not done just yet. Crescent Strike not available. Beisheng's gone way too deep. The Pop Blossom and a red buff finish him. Knight forced to flash now. Dominus from Morgan, but he can't get in. It's just going to be Top getting 1 kill.
That was really confusing by Beisheng because he flashed in for the knock-up technically, but of course Olaf was using Ragnarok, so he's not going to get knocked up. And at this point, with how far behind Beisheng is, he's not going to have the damage to one-shot the Olaf. And we just saw the Pop Blossom coming in from Knight. We talked about how good this is against WE's comp, where it just wants to jump right into it.
Yeah, the Nico is just perfect. When everyone wants to dive into you, you've got the perfect setup for a Pop Blossom there. Knight will just continuously force this mid lane in. Teachama are going to have to just catch the waves and try and farm it out. And it's going to be difficult for Teachama because this is the kind of player that wants to roam a lot. When you're being consistently pushed in, you have to make the decision that we regularly see WE make. Am I just going to give up CS to try and make a play elsewhere on the map?
He has been a player we've seen make that choice many times, but we do see WE able to funnel a ton of play gold onto Jomung, while Top picking up the Herald across the map and still keeping some gold onto their carries with Photic in the mid lane. So the one losing out ultimately is Knight.
And we're kind of seeing the opposite of the trade we saw in game number 1 here. Last time around, it was Top that stayed in the bottom side that were just looking for the plate gold on the AD carry. And it was WE that went for this early Herald and made a play towards the top side. We're kind of seeing these roles reversed. My question will be, who gets the first tower? You've got to give it the way to Top with this Rift Herald.
Yeah, and you do feel good on the side of WE, though, getting all that play gold on the Jomung. But I actually like what Top did because they decided, hey, one member on our team needs to lose farm. The least important character would be the Nico because Nico does have a relatively cheap build, wanting to get the GLP and then the Twin Shadows. Yeah. You are a lot more about...
Oh, flash from Chocho. What a play. Beisheng tunnels away. Oh, surely he doesn't get away with that. No way. It was a good flash play, but now Morgan finds himself in trouble in the top side. Slices away. This is going to be the tier 2 in the top lane taken. And that's 2 towers out of the Herald.
And Top Esports, I'm sorry, come out so far ahead. WE so far behind on answering, feels like they could have rotated missing back sooner. And we were just talking about how it felt good that they were putting gold onto people like Photic with the Kalista and letting 369 still farm with the Aatrox. But they got so much out of that. Almost getting a pick onto Beishang as well would have been huge.
Yeah, if they got the pick onto the jungler there, it could have turned into so much more. Really great stuff from Top, and this is what we were praising them for in Game 1 as well. While they were losing out in the fights, their map play was fantastic. They were able to get pretty equal trades in Game 1. This time in Game 2, they're the ones with the advantages.
And it does feel like their comp will do a lot better in these fights where we talked about the Pop Blossom's going to come in handy. This time WE are going to be really running into you, so you aren't so pressured to find these engages onto Jomung. So Top having a lot more tools to work with in these skirmishes and teamfights around the neutral objectives.
So we kind of have a bit of a reset here, a bit of a lull in the action. Let's take stock of where we're at in the game, because the gold is not far off of even. There's a bit of an advantage, about 500 gold for Top. But it's Jomung who's got the most gold out of anyone in the game, and that's because so many of those tower plates went over to this Varus off of the back of those 2v2 fights that we saw earlier on in the game as well. But Top certainly not falling behind. That's the most important thing, because that's what we saw in Game 1.
Yep, Top still keeping up. We have a really competitive game right now. Though for WE, eventually Teacherma is going to become a real threat in the side lane 1v1. And of course, being able to get on top of someone like Photic is going to be extremely scary once we have a 1-2 item Diana.
And let's just remember who these teams are as well. Top, they're a favorite for the tournament. Ragnarok used, Teacherma trying to go in. That's going to be a knock-up onto Beishang. He has to tunnel out, but the stun comes out onto Knight. That's going to be a follow-up. Pop Blossom doesn't hit onto anyone. Radiance keeps people healthy from WE. 2 minutes still until the Drake. I'm not even sure what we're fighting over.
Yeah, it looks like WE just thought they could find a pick, but Knight being able to get out unscathed. Still, a lot of summoners blown by the side. Actually, only 1 summoner blown. 2, we also had a heal coming out from missing, while everyone from Top Esports sells all their flashes except Chocho's, whose was burned earlier.
Now they move over towards the bottom side of the map here. This is going to be more tower plates going the way of Top. We saw that Top, the big advantage they had in game number 1 was the amount of tower plates they were able to get for themselves. Oh, double TP comes through here to make sure that Teacherma can't just get dove.
Yeah, that was really scary at first from Teacherma.
That was close. That could have been real bad, because obviously they didn't realize all 3 members were there. They thought there was just 2 of them. Forced both teleports out. That's a huge advantage now for Top, because 369, he can just go off to the top lane.
Yeah, and...
Ooh. Teacherma, I mean, yeah, I'm not even going to commentate that one. What do you say about that? He just face checks into them.
Also talking about Teacherma, he did go for the Proto Belt rather than the Nashor's Tooth. Nashor's Tooth synergizes much better with Diana's kit, where almost all of your power is in your 3-hit passive, so getting that on-hit damage from Nashor's and the attack speed is massive, but electing to go towards this build, which is much more about getting on top of Photic, which I feel like in this situation is actually pretty good, despite that, I'd say in 9 out of 10 situations, that Nashor's Tooth is just flat out better. But with all the mobility on the side of Photic with the Kalista,
yeah,
that Proto Belt's going to come in really clutch in the later phases of the game.
Yeah, it helps to get onto the backline and do that extra little bit of burst of damage as well. But unfortunate here for Teacherma getting caught out there. He did have a bounty on him as well. But at least a little bit of gold going to be traded back for WE in the top side. But Knight has had so much plate gold this game. It's actually unreal. I'm curious what the numbers are going to be here, because that was a ton of plates, and Knight was near to every single one of them.
Also, with kind of everything that's been happening, Teacherma being denied so much farm, we see him fall behind 30 CS.
Oh, Chocho, another flash play here, this time onto Teacherma. He's going to go down. Ren from Photic. And Morgan's here to answer in the top lane. Beishang is alongside him, the World Ender, trying to survive the dive. Morgan's getting pretty low, though. Needs to get away from the turret. Missing arrives. Beishang, does he have the damage? Void Rush comes through. 369, 1v4 right now. Gets to trade 1 for 1.
That's such a win for the side of Top Esports. You come out getting a 1-for-1, and your members are already in place to punish WE across the map.
Oh, this is brutal for WE. I can't believe they lose a member there. Now Knight continues to push in the bottom side. Carster's alongside him. Look at the plate gold. Almost 1,000 for Knight. Almost 2,000 across the board for Top. And they get to push in the mid lane as the extra cherry on top of everything else.
Yeah, Knight getting all those plates on the bot side. And we see here Photic and Chocho getting to do whatever they want. They were really shut out of this game in the early phases, but now they're getting to come back online from WE's mistakes. And like you talked about, Top doing so well at their rotations and really abusing what WE are looking for.
And it's interesting to see as well, because it feels like, you know, we're expecting Top to be a little bit more of a reactive team. It feels like they've reacted to game number 1 here and changed the style that they're going to play this game.
I wouldn't describe Top as a reactive team. I think they play better when they're the reactive team, though, right? When the enemy team's coming into them, they look good. But doing much better at building a comp that can play proactively and playing off their win conditions. And on the side of WE, we talked about how uncomfortable they look when Teachama is stuck on a champion that's really just getting pushed in mid and can't look to affect the map and enhance his teammates.
Well, Beisheng doesn't quite get the scuttle crab for himself. Chocho's around, and we know he's more than happy to start a fight, so you need to be careful here, Beisheng. This Herald is all but forfeit. There's no way that WE can contest this, surely. They're starting to fall really far behind now. 2,500 gold, 3.5 in fact. Knight forced to flash, Chains of Corruption goes wide. And with the Rend here, this is going to be the Herald taken from Top. What can they do with it? WE answering the mid lane now. They're going to just start a fight here. I thought Carson was running in. It was just a hallucination in the end, but that's going to be a Fate's Call, knock up the Tangle Barbs as well. And Morgan, usually a shining light for WE, is taken out.
Like, what are WE thinking? Of course, Top can just run in on them. They're ahead in these fights. We see how useful the Nico's been, especially Karsa on the Olaf.
Quickness available. Chocho's going to go for this one. Jumps on forward, knock up there. The Radiance is going to keep everyone alive, though. Oh, Chocho. Doesn't work out this time. 369 going to go forward, though. He's happy to tank the tower. This tower will shortly fall. Stun can't land because Ragnarok's in, and the Undertows do so much across the team. Flash from Teachama to dodge the Tangle Barbs. It's another tower for Top, another objective, another fight.
I love it from Chocho, ulting in and inting to give WE a false sense of security, allowing Top to pick up the turret and also get a pick on the end of it.
Fantastic stuff from Top, and great to just kind of force the fight, get that Cosmic Radiance out, and then re-engage afterwards.
Yeah, and we're seeing, I'd say, a really good game from Karsa and Knight respectively. We haven't really seen any big plays coming out from Knight, but again, you're on the Nico, you're more about supplementing your team, and we've seen Chocho make a lot of ballsy plays going in, like right here. The great thing is, like you just pointed out, he baits out all of the cooldowns for the side of WE, so once it gets to this point where the turret's almost dead, 369 starts it up. They kind of posture too far forward here, not realizing the turret's going to go down, and then Karsa goes in, and that's all she wrote.
We've got another fight, though. Pop Blossom's here. Jarmung's already dead and missing. Just not enough respect from WE here, not understanding that Top can just run at you. I don't know how you don't understand that after the last fight.
Yeah, I don't know how they don't understand that after the last, like, 13 minutes of this game. But
last 18 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh dear, Top. This is kind of what we were expecting from them. But let's look at their match history, right? They beat Suning, but it was 2-1. They beat Rogue Warriors, but it was 2-1. Top, while they are one of the top 4 teams in the league right now, they are certainly not the kind of team that is clean every single game.
And even moving over WE, lost to LGD 1-2, lost to BLG 1-2, beat Suning 2-1, beat Rogue Warriors 2-1. Like, this was a series that was destined to go to 3 games.
Yeah, ultimately, it's what you expect. And I'm hoping in game number 3, we could see more from WE. But let's not count them out just yet. They are 7,000 gold down. Well, 6,000. You know, it's...
Don't count them out. They're just losing 7,000 gold, guys.
Yeah, before 20 minutes. Like, it does look pretty bad. Let's not beat around the bush. But it isn't actually over. They do have a Varus. Very good in the late game. The Diana in a kind of split push scenario or after a big ultimate will do huge work, but Morgan manages to dodge away from the Pop Blossom. Will walk away with his life.
Like, the problem for WE is right now, you have this Renekton, which is pretty much useless with the enemy team being so far ahead. Rek'Sai as well, just useless, because once, the problem with Rek'Sai, not really with Renekton, but similarly, is once you go in, there's no real way of getting out.
Yeah.
It is paired better with the Taric, since, again, once you get that ultimate, it will give you some options and some time to disengage, but being so far behind, if you go in as Beishang or Morgan, you're just dead. Same with Teacher Ma, but if you're Teacher Ma right now, you want to stay far, far away from any action, just get some more CS, get some more gold, and keep scaling.
I really want to know what that graphic says, because it had 60% on either side, and then it had 80% on either side. And that's not how percentages work. I wish I could read the text to understand what was going on with the Harbin graphic there. But
I don't know what they teach you in school in the UK, but that is exactly how percentages work.
when it goes up to 160% in America.
Yes, see, top esports are winning, says the Colonel.
Yeah, 80% winning. And I can't help but agree with him, to be quite honest. And it only feels like it's getting better for them as well.
When Shadow's coming out looking to set up Chocho, but all the members of WE just sitting around their base. We actually could even get to a point where top just say, hey, screw it, we don't want to wait for this dragon. Let's just send Karsa and Photic over to the Baron and try to two-man this with the other members kind of showing on the map and covering the lanes.
Yeah, I mean, you got to bear in mind you're against an Olaf. Olaf can just run at things like the Baron. He has a ton of lifesteal just built into his kit already, and they're just so far ahead. There's a Rage Blade for Photic. Often we see the Hurricane second, but Photic knows that he just wants to snowball right now. He just wants to do as much upfront damage as possible.
Yeah, and it seems like we're getting to the point where WE aren't going to give them any windows. They're just comfortable just sitting behind like this wall of their jungle, never walking past it to push out their waves and just saying, hey, top, we know we're far behind. We're just going to try to build up more time. So it's all about top finding a very bold opening. And unless WE give you that themselves, it really is all about the Baron and the Dragon.
Or Chocho. Bear in mind his flash is available, and already twice this game he's gone for
there we go.
Aggressive flash plays, but they are going to go for the Baron, as you rightly say. Profit Lyric over here, but with the percent damage, with a Rage Blade, with the Rend from the Kalista, they are comfortably going to be able to sneak this one away. And Beishang, he knows what's up. He wants to contest it.
But he can't do anything.
There's just no way. That's going to be Tangled Barbs. That's going to be the Pop Blossom. Beishang does get away with his life, but Knight's just running distraction. He doesn't need to get the kill because they've got the Baron.
I'm not sure if 369 hit the outer Q. Didn't look like he did, but if he did, looked like that Beishang would have been dead.
So close to finishing off that kill, but ultimately, does a kill on the jungler matter to top right now? Not at all. They got the Baron. They're almost 10,000 gold ahead.
And these are the two members that we were highlighting at the start of this. Knight and Karsa, and then how that gives room to breathe for Photic. But Knight doing such a good job on this champion. And again, we haven't really seen him make any huge flashy plays. Has been more about finding these picks with the actives from his items. But it's done so well at setting up especially Karsa in these teamfights. Now sitting 3-0-1 on the Olaf, now going to go towards those defensive stats, and no one's going to be able to kill him on the side of WE.
Yeah, when we talk about how far ahead Knight is right now and the fact that he's done so much damage, you have to consider, when you look at the items, he is an item and a half ahead of Teachama right now. That advantage is huge. Beishang, the tunnel's not going to save you this time. Flash will, though. Yeah. Nicely done to get out of that one. I did not think he was going to survive.
He literally flashed like the radius of that ability perfectly.
Yeah, really nicely done. But top now with the Baron, they can pressure all three lanes. WE, they have to try and defend. You said they were already posturing defensively. Now they're pushed all the way into their base. I don't know what they can do to break the siege.
I mean, their only option at this point is to engage and try to force a 50-50 team fight, but it's not 50-50, it's more like a 90-10. So, but if you don't force that fight, top are just going to slowly bleed you out across the map.
And also, even if you do force the fight, top could just keep pushing the other two lanes anyway. Teachama goes in. Well, that is a clone. That's not a real Nico. Karsa happy to step forward. One turret goes down. Mid lane's getting low as well. Cleanse from Photic, or the QSS, sorry, against the Chase of Corruption. In we go for the Moonfall. Teachama does nothing, though. Beishang's already fallen. It's a good Cosmic Radiance, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Pop Blossom onto everybody. Knight with a double kill, and they want more on top of it. Karsa goes in. And they're not done killing just yet. They could push for inhibs, but they want to shut down the Croc. They want to find Morgan in the jungle. He's desperately trying to escape. Doesn't have his slice and dice available. Just tries to find a 1v1. Karsa, in the meantime, he's pushing the base. Photic arrives to help take these towers. And if this isn't a convincing comeback in a series, I don't know what is. WE looked amazing in game 1, and Top completely shut them out of game number 2. We've got 3 games on our hands.
Makes you question what Top were thinking game 1. Looks like they just